Hey guys, I'm here with my discussion about self-disclosure. So I guess I'll go ahead and get into it. Um, I think it's kind of a tricky concept, and I think it could be used with some clients, but then some clients it might not be beneficial. I think that's something that the counselor would need to really assess, like going into it. And I think it's maybe a skill that would need to be used after a few sessions have, already happened, so you can kind of get a vibe on how your client is. And some clients may not be able to, that might not work, but then some it might. So my opinion kind of varies, and I do find pros and then also some cons with using it. So I like how when you use self-disclosure, the client might feel more comfortable and more understood, like they aren't alone in the situation. For example, if a client is going through, say, a divorce or a death of the family, that's something the counselor may be able to relate to, maybe kind of give some insight into that. And so the client may feel like, they're not the only one going through this, like, they can kind of relate to one another. But in other words, kind of on the con side, the client, might feel sort of a friendship forming, which could potentially maybe cross that professional line, and it just might not be good overall, if that friendship forms like too close, and could definitely cross some boundaries. Another con that I think is that the client might feel the counselor is too focused on themselves rather than helping them. For example, like I know in my personal life, if I go to a friend, I'm explaining a situation, maybe trying to get some advice, and if they are kind of relating it back to themselves, sometimes I'm like, are you actually trying to help me, or are you trying to like make yourself feel better type of thing? So I can definitely relate my personal life, and I feel like that's how it would be in the counseling world too. So I think it's definitely a very tricky concept to use self-disclosure, but I do think that it could definitely work and be beneficial towards some clients, and then others not so much. There's kind of not really a right and wrong, but for counselors, I feel like it's just, up to them whether, it's appropriate or not. So that is my final discussion.